Today we're making copycat Starbucks raspberry syrup, which apparently endured a lot of changes over the years. I was just reading, and Starbucks discontinued the original due to controversial artificial dye made from bugs. They reintroduced it later in a clear version. Starbucks faced a shortage of ingredients during the pandemic, including raspberry syrup. Its yield is 1 to 2 cups. Cook time is 20 minutes. Total time is 20 minutes. Here are the instructions. Place a small saucepan on the stove and pour the 1.5 cups of water, 1 cup of sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, which is optional. Turn the heat to medium-high and stir until the sugar dissolves. Add the 1.5 cups of fresh raspberries and bring the mix to the boil. We recommend fresh for the best taste, but you can use frozen raspberries as well. If you're using frozen raspberries, you just have to let them thaw out first, and then we're going to cook this on medium heat for 20 minutes. I just started stirring it, and then eventually I'm going to kind of just try to chop at it a little bit, but you don't have to. It recommends using the back of your spatula after the 20 minutes to mash any visible chunks of raspberries and any impurity that appears on the surface. While the mixture boils, we're going to strain it, which you will see in a minute. I'm going to double up my burners, and then that raspberry syrup comes up to the boil, and it's now been 20 minutes. Again, I'm just going to chop at it just for good measure. Make sure there is actually no big raspberries that we need to strain, that we need to mash. I'm not actually using a spatula, I'm just using a metal spoon. So I gotta load the dishwasher just so that I can put that mason jar, which I'm gonna put in the sink so that I can dump it and I can strain it. I need a clear sink for that. I'm gonna put this raspberry syrup in a mason jar. I had way too big of a strainer. It actually ended up working perfectly to start, but then once I'm trying to get the rest of the liquid out of the strainer, it started dripping. But it's fine, because obviously it just cleared off the mason jar. But I'm trying to be really careful, making sure as much of that liquid goes into that tiny mason jar. If you need to, just use a spoon and kind of stir it and try to get the rest of that juice, because that's a lot of seeds and a lot of raspberry bits. You don't want the seeds and those extra little raspberry pieces in the syrup. You just want the nice, smooth consistency. The liquid. I don't know if you can see it dripping or not. Also, is my hair greasy? Do I need to wash it? Oh my gosh. Alright, so you're going to toss the leftover fruit, or if you want to be like me and try it with a spoon, because we don't like wasting raspberries around here. Raspberries are delicious, and sometimes they can be expensive. So technically it says to let the raspberry syrup cool off before draining. Oops. And directly into clean bottles or jars. I didn't do that. You can store it up in the refrigerator for 10 days. So I had a mason jar, I cleaned it. I'm going to put a lid on it and stick it in the fridge until I am ready to use it for my next video, which is going to be, now what do we do with this raspberry syrup? What kind of drinks can we make with this raspberry syrup? I feel like it would be good over brownies. It would be good in cocktails. It would be good in coffee. I'm going to use it in teas, and I'm so excited for the next video. I also thought I was going to make raspberry lemonade, but that recipe was too confusing, and I was reading reviews like my mom, and people had mixed reviews, so I'm going to hold off on that recipe. But it is Ree Drummond, and I do like Ree Drummond, so how bad can she actually be? I think I'm going to sign it off here. Ciao, babes. I can't wait to see you in my next video talking all about raspberry syrup.